threads that I post every single day. And I also made like a skit type Instagram video on it too. And I'll talk about it a little bit, where I was like, you don't need a tragic backstory to become successful, but you do need to put yourself through tragedy to become successful. And essentially, what that means is you do not get to skip the pain and suffering. You don't get to skip that part. You do not get to skip the pain and suffering, the countless risks, and the long amount of time where you're doing the same thing the same way every single day until you become successful. You do not get to skip that. And it's unfortunate because a lot of you guys will spend years trying to skip that part. You'll think, oh, this pain and suffering I'm going through, this is not what it's supposed to be like. It's supposed to look pretty. It's supposed to be like a 5 second, quick cut scene that you see in like an anime or a movie type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be this, oh, this is actually going to take years. Oh, I'm actually going to have to make a ton of sacrifices. Oh, I'm going to actually have to work ridiculously hard and not see a result for a very long time and have to just keep going through it. Like that's what's going to have to happen. And you don't get to skip that part. And that's the tragedy that I'm talking about. Because like when you watch movies and shit, you watch movies, anime, you know, you're constantly seeing the main character usually have some sort of tragic backstory or troubled past more often than not. Because why? It makes the story interesting. It makes you interested in the character. Oh my God, look at how this guy had this insanely horrible past. And now he ends up becoming this really great thing. So just because of the media that we watch, especially as men, we're so used to seeing guys, have a tragic backstory. But for you, you might not have a tragic backstory. Your life could be very tame. You grew up in an average home with an average life. Everything's kind of been great. But the thing is, because you don't have some serious tragedy that you've gone through, you've never developed the mental fortitude that is necessary to become extremely successful. Which is why I then say that you have to put yourself through tragedy. You have to put yourself through insane trials and tribulations to gain the mental strength and resilience to become extremely successful. Which is why I'm saying you don't want to try to cut corners or take shortcuts because you're losing out on the value that is gained through going through the trials and tribulations, which is the mental fortitude and mental resilience, by trying to look for a shortcut. It's those trials and tribulations that you go through. It's through the pain and suffering that you have to go through to become successful that makes you successful. That's why everyone or every single man that has reached the pinnacle of anything, they constantly have a backstory that they can talk about. They can tell stories about what they've been through because they had to go through things to become great. You do not skip that part. So just understand you don't need to have a tragic backstory, but you for sure have to put yourself through tragedy to become successful. You have to go through the pain and suffering. It's going to take years. You're going to question yourself. You're going to doubt yourself. You're going to fuck up. You're going to make horrible mistakes, whether it be private or public. You going to fuck up. But it's by going through that you're going to gain the mental fortitude and resilience to eventually become successful. So that's all you got to do, man. You got to want to go through it all. You got to understand when you're going through that pain and suffering. Like, no, this is what it takes. And if you're like that, you'll win. So